Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Walillahi alhamd. Allahu Akbar kabira, walhamdulillahi kathira. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi bukratan wa asila. Innal hamdalillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh. ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا ومن يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, dear fellow Muslims, in this very day of Eid-al-Adha, let us emphasize on holding the faith of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Holding the faith, the importance of keeping the faith in our life of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, and who turns away from the religion of Ibrahim, وَمَن يَرْغَبُ عن ملة إبراهيم إلا من سفه نفسه. But such a debase their souls with folly, with weakness. Their soul is not ready. Their soul is so weak to accept the truth. The people who turns away from the teaching, from the faith, from the religion of Ibrahim alayhi salam. In the next part of the ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in this manner, وَلَقَدِ اسْتَفَيْنَاهُ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَإِنَّهُ فِي الْآخِرَةِ لَمِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. Him we chose and rendered pure in this world, and he will be in the hereafter, of course, in the rank of the righteous people. Istafa, that means chose because of purity of belief. Chose and purified. It is the same root from which Mustafa is derived, one of the titles of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Then look at his nature of surrender to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ibrahim alayhi salam. إِذْ قَالَ لَهُ رَبُّهُ أَسْلِمْ قال أسلمت لرب العالمين. When his Rabb, his Lord, said to him, be a Muslim, come to me in full submission, bow your will to me, surrender to me completely. He said, I have become a Muslim to the Rabb of the worlds. I bow my will to the Lord and cherisher of the universe. I have submitted in Islam to the Lord of the worlds. The legacy of Ibrahim alayhi salam and his descendants is described in the Quran in this manner. وَوَصَّى بِهَا إِبْرَاهِيمُ بَنِيهِ وَيَعْقُوبُ يَا بَنِيَّ إِنَّ اللَّهَ اصْطَفَى لَكُمُ الدِّينَ فَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. And this was the legacy of Ibrahim alayhi salam, left to his sons, and so did Yaqub. The much criticized and discussion is going on in this world throughout with Yaqub alayhi salam, Israel. He said to his son, O fellow Muslims, let us concentrate in this statement of Yaqub alayhi salam very closely. He said, Ya baniyya, inna Allah astafa lakumuddin, fala tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. O my sons, Allah certainly has chosen for you, chosen by the creator of heaven and earth, sustainer of everything, the faith, the religion, the way of life. So do not die except in the faith of Islam, except you being Muslim. Deen is completed. This deen of Ibrahim alayhi salam is completed in the hand of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And this verse was revealed in the day of Arafah, and it was happened to be on Friday. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran in this manner in Surah Ma'idah, Al-yawma akmaltu deenakum. This day I have perfected for you your religion. Wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati. And completed my favor upon you. This is the tamam. This is the completion of the deen. And raditu lakumul Islam deena. And have chosen for you. I have approved for you. I have happily selected for you. I have happily selected this deen. And I have very satisfied being doing so for you. Al-Islam as your religion. Inna dina indallahi al-Islam. Indeed, the religion, deen, the right way of life to follow in the sight of Allah is Islam. That means submission to His will. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us, why should we follow Islam? Allah says, are they looking for a religion other than the deen, the religion and way of life of Allah? Knowing that everything, man fi samawati wal ard, taw'ahu wa qarhahu, wa ilayhi yurja'un. Knowing that everything, whatever we see in our eyes, in the earth and in the heaven, everything, willingly or unwillingly, that means they are following anyway, has submitted to Him, and to Him they shall all return. We see the submission of His creation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The sun doesn't late to rise. The stars, everything in this universe follow the path Allah has destined for them. Learning from this universe, giving examples from this universe, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminding us His best creation to follow Islam as the core of Islam. In Surah Anbiya, in the very first ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding to the people of the world, اقترب للناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون. Closer and closer, it's becoming qareeb to mankind, linnas, not only lil Muslimin. They are reckoning, they are hisabuhum, their accountability. Yet, ahum fi ghaflatin mu'ridun. Yet they do not heed, they do not pay attention. They are so careless, and they turn away from the admonition, advice of Islam, teaching of Islam. Dear fellow Muslims, in this time, with the advancement of science and technology, the scientists are so advanced, but still we see the peacefulness and we see the discovery, the reason to follow Islam. Let us have some examples from the science so that it can strengthen our faith furthermore. Astronauts feel when they are in space, they feel like so insignificant. In Discovery Channel number 821, they were saying like this. The Venus is the hottest one. The carbon dioxide is so excessive there. But to this planet, this is so unique. Balanced carbon dioxide. The right amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere of this earth. Over here we see we have rain, rivers and volcanoes in a balanced way. They are saying the earth has its own breathing system. Amazing. This is not what a person, believer, Muslim is saying. It is the scientists of America that they are saying that earth has its own breathing system as if it has an orgasm. As if there's a blanket over us to keep us secure around the earth. how ordinary life we have here. Earth is a living, breathing bubble of life in this midst of space. Same oxygen is shared by all the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who made it. There is no special oxygen for any special people or a special region of this earth. Everybody is sharing the same kind of oxygen Allah has destined for us. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, this dunya which is secure as a blanket by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us, this dunya means lowest. And to go to uliya, the highest level of creation in Jannah, let us remember these small two verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Ma'idah, the last part of the verse number 2, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. Help one another in al-birr, piety, virtue, goodness, and taqwa. That means the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's commandments. وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. And do not help one another in sin and transgression, crossing the light, crossing the limit set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna Allah shadidul iqab. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Rahman al-Rahim. At the same time, He didn't forget to remind us is another tribute that He is shadidul iqab. Verily, Allah is severe in punishment. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, let us see what makes us the best of creation, best of beings, best of creatures. In Surah Bayyinah, last two verses of Surah Bayyinah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in this way, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمْ خَيْرُ الْبَرِيَّةِ جَزَاءَهُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ جَنَّاتُ عَدْنٍ تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه ذلك لمن خشي ربه. Their reward is with their Lord, with their Rabb, gardens of eternity, Jannatu Adn, under which rivers flow to stay there forever and ever. Khalidina fiha. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala added one word after that. That is abada. Forever and ever. Never lasting. Allah pleased with them. And they are pleased with Him. Those are such who fear their Lord. Who are aware of their Lord's commandments. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept us as Khairul Bariyah in this very day of Eid-al-Adha. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروا واتوبوا إليه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله ملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وتوفنا مسلمين. Ya Hayyul Qayyum, Ya Rahman Rahim, accept our effort to be in your path. Accept our salah, our siyam and other worships. Help solving our problems and difficulties. Give us cure if we suffer sickness. Ya Ghafur Rahim, give shifa to our parents and loved ones if they are ill. Grant them Jannatul Firdaus who are dead from our loved ones. Allow good health, good education, good manner, iman and good deeds for our children. Ya Rabb, help us and solve the year-long conflict in Palestine. Help the Muslims in Palestine, Syria and elsewhere in the world. Ya Allah, grant us whatever is good for us in this life and in the life to come. Bestow your blessings on us always. Accept our dua, our supplication that we could make, but you know that is beneficial for us. Allow iman for us at the time of our death. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Now we can greet each other and enjoy the rest of the time.